And we're live. We're here. Well, we're definitely going to give it a minute to let some folks get on here. Davin probably won't share this out, so I'm going to go.
I've shared it every single week.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I see you, and you have it set on secret when you post it. I can see I can see your post status.
You got to make people work to find you. You know, it's about commitment.
Got to make people work, so they don't even know. They don't even know you're out there and exist.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're nobody. So let me share this out. Let's go to.
They're not going to stay long if we just sit here and.
I want to talk. I don't have to be the one. Why you got to make the American the one that's
well, because you just started to say something, and then you just your split attention it needs work.
Oh, what shit! I'm trying to get us we got one viewer.
Yeah.
So by the way, yeah, if you watch this, damn it, y'all don't listen worth a shit either. Tag, comment, let us know where you're watching from. And join this breaking news show because we're breaking news. We are.
I don't mind that angle. We could just sit here and break news. Here's some breaking news. Victoria, 2 coronavirus cases yesterday. 2. When we started this podcast, Kentucky and Victoria had the same daily number of around 700 or 800. Here we are, 5 weeks later, 6 weeks later? We're at 2. What are you guys at?
I'm trying to pull it up right now, sir. My internet seems to be. I've got somebody from Melbourne, from Australia, just in general, on here. What's up, Tim? Tim, if you're on, just give me an emoji or a thumbs up. He's an assistant basketball coach over at Murray State. He just liked the video.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't for some reason.
What are you guys at?
I'm trying to pull it up. It's probably gonna be quicker for me to pull it up on my phone.
All right.
What the heck is going on here? Who's watching? We got 5. We got 5 people. We got 7. Hey, everybody, listen. That's enough people for me to celebrate. I just want everybody to know that we are celebrating the Richmond Tigers now playing in the AFL championship. We have 9 people on board.
Grand final. Watch them drop. They're going to disappear.
Stay with me, folks. Stay with me. Share it out. Come on, folks. Keep it up. Let's go. Let's get Tiger Army. That probably was really loud, and if they would have been watching that with people around, they probably scared the shit out of some people watching.
I noticed we went from 9 viewers to 4 viewers just from that one track, that one song. That's what that song does to people. It makes them run in the other direction. It makes them run.
Well, that could be the case, or the only people that were watching were Magpie fans.
Well, hopefully
647. So half of what we have been 647 cases in the state of Kentucky.
That's not bad. We had update. I said 2. We had 1. One, and then another one with an asterisk.
Asterisk. Okay. All right.
So,
anybody watching, submit some questions too. If you're watching this, if you've seen more than one of these episodes, the first question is why in the hell are you watching us?
That is a good question.
The second question is, if you have a question that you would like Shane, the American, and Davin, the Aussie, to answer, submit a question to us. Anything. Listen, we will discuss. We're parents. We're both parents. We're both. Definitely. I'm definitely in the running for husband of the year in America. Davin has to be, right? Has to be running for husband of the year in Australia.
There's really only one opinion on that subject that matters, isn't there? Really?
That's it. That's it. Your wife tells you look handsome. It doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks.
I'd be reluctant to ask too many questions.
It's better. So you're saying
it's better not to know.
It's better to just assume.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm
7 people tuning in and watching. Where are y'all watching from? Comment on the post and just mention where you are watching from.
So, did you watch the Tigers? Were you able to watch the game?
No, sir, I was not.
They were reasonable.
Are you being judgmental?
No, I think it's going to be a good game this weekend. I think Geelong is hungry. I would be worried about Geelong.
We're not worried about anybody.
You can tell how hungry
a team is. I got my yellow on.
Yeah, I do. I've got my Geelong blue on. No, I'm not.
I was going to say.
They're blues more navy.
If Magpie Nation finds out that you're rooting for another team,
you got to root for somebody in the grand final. You got to pick a team. If your team's not there, you've got to pick a team.
Look at there. You've been spending too much time with American. You said root.
Well, I'm speaking in a way that you'll understand.
I understand. I know what cheer means.
Barrack. We barrack.
You said root.
I did. Yeah, there's plenty of American culture that's infiltrated the Australian way of life.
There is a lot. There's a lot. Yeah. I actually just saw, even in New Zealand now, they've got Taco Bell popping up.
Right.
That's the end. That's the beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end.
When Taco Bell shows up.
You know it's over when our Wendy's becomes your Wendy's. When our Wendy's becomes your Wendy's, it's over.
Oh, they converted.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying we had a Wendy's and it was like ice creams and
yeah,
and
they
hot
still
dogs.
got them. They got them over. They have them on the Gold Coast. It's the first place I ever saw one.
Yeah,
it's ice. It's like our Dairy Queen.
Yeah,
man. Where are these people watching from? Did you pay some people to come on and watch the show today? Legit. Hey, now see, every time I say something, they bounce off.
I know.
It's like they're getting scared.
Just let them enjoy. Don't harass these people. Let them sit and watch and enjoy.
Oh, I did get a question.
Did you?
Yes.
What's the question?
So it has been brought to my attention that they think the way I count in Australian, that's not actually how y'all sound. So I'm going to need you to count the teens for me in a non-American accent so that these people can hear that and know that I'm not making it up. You
want me to count in Australia with an Australian accent or with a Bogan accent?
14, 15.
14.
No, you're a liar. You're such a liar.
14. I don't say 15. I say 15. 15.
17.
16, 17.
17. I'm
17.
They think I'm making
18,
it up.
19.
14. 15.
14. Yeah, well, it's the R. It's all about the R, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys you roll it. It's like
we rush
roll.
it through. We rush it through. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you did that because they clearly thought I was just making fun of you guys.
17, 14. Yeah.
14. 14. 14. That's American.
14. 14.
What?
You have to engage too many facial muscles to speak with an American accent. Too many. It's too much effort.
You mean actually pronounce and enunciate things?
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are trying to get a word out.
We're trying to get
the least amount of syllables as possible.
No, we're trying to get a sentence out to make it sound like the fewest amount of words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the American accent makes you guys speak at a very nice pace. Like I like the pacing of the way Americans speak. Even when you speak fast, you still have to get every syllable out there. It's good. I've always been a fan. Well,
we're glad we're glad that you're a fan. So, so there's nothing really more to talk about. We're taking.
Are we done?
The third championship in 4 years home.
Premiership.
No, it's still the championship. It's still the
Well,
champions of the
it's
league.
not. It's a premiership.
It's still the champions of the league.
Yeah, but we wouldn't call it that. Premiers.
I hope I see a post that says
Never. You won't see it. You will
friendly
not
bet.
see it. But you'll see a poster that says
12-pack of Recoldring cider. If I see championship type
Oh,
by an
I mean,
Australian,
no,
by an Australian company.
no, it needs to be an official media. It needs to be a sanctioned
by somebody's official
poster.
post. So when Richmond wins and somehow they type and it says champions,
If they want to avoid a revolt, it'll say premiers, not champions.
why would that be a revolt?
Because this is a very Australian sport. There is a language. Why would we want to let more American sporting lingo infiltrate our culture? I'd be disappointed.
Okay, so this is really good. I wish. Do you have any? Can you look at your Facebook friends feed?
Yeah.
Man, I wish we had some footy and some NFL fans we could both bring on here that knew about both. There's going to be many more of Aussies that know about both.
Yes, correct. Correct.
So I have a question.
Sure.
And this is probably going to be a hot take. As a matter of fact, if somebody knew how to clip this and post it, this would go viral in Australia. Okay, so I guess let's paint the picture here.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to think it is of your belief that AFL, footy, Australian football rules, football.
Yes.
You seem to think that is a more brutal, aggressive, and dangerous.
No, you just keep putting words in my mouth. Continue. Go on.
You said
no. I said
the hits. You said the hits were not as.
You don't even know.
Tell me. Okay.
You don't even know.
Okay. All right. You tell me what you said.
Obviously, the rules of NFL as a game, keep everything else aside, is more. It facilitates a more brutal game, right? But what I said was that the hits that you see in Australian rules football are more severe and more impactful on the player than they are in the NFL for two reasons.
So you're saying they're more dangerous.
One, but they don't happen as frequently, right? In an NFL game, there are people whose sole job is to hit people, right? And so it happens all the time. But there's pads, there's helmets. I get what you're saying. We'll get to that. But you see people spring up, right? You see people get absolutely crunched and they spring out. When you see the impact, not as frequently, nowhere near as frequently, I'll give you that. But when it does happen in the AFL, with no helmet, no pads, the damage is much more severe. The second thing is the nature of the game, right? In NFL, for the most part, you know where the hits are going to come from. And for the most part, you're not vulnerable physically, for the most part. There are times where it happens. But the nature of the AFL, where it's so free-flowing, there are players running in all different directions. There are times when the ball's on the ground, fumbling, and you're over the top of it. You're vulnerable. You don't know whether the hits are going to come from in front of you, from the side of you, from behind you. The players that run and jump into a pack, they cop knees to the head, they cop knees to the ribs. That's the stuff you don't see in the NFL, right? You see massive hits, all right? I know you guys have big boys and they hit you hard, right? But you, for the most part, know when it's coming. It doesn't come in the same way, and you're not protected with pads, helmets.
So, okay. Okay. So I just
retort.
So before I go in, I want to make sure that I understand. You are saying that a knee to the side of the head of a guy leaping in the air, is more painful.
It's more damaging.
More damaging, more dangerous than a guy catching the ball and that guy being 185 pounds, soaking wet, and then a guy running faster than any other human in the AFL.
Oh, I don't know.
At 270 pounds.
Well, that's the difference.
And
that's
lunges his body through that guy. Even though he hits him in the arm, the rib, and the side, you say yours is still more dangerous.
I would say I would much rather get a hit to the shoulder and the side than a knee to the head.
Then I know how we need to solve this.
I'm copying neither a knee to the head or a hit from a 270-pound monster.
Yep. So that's exactly what we need to do.
It's not
we have often talked about what kind of content we will put together once COVID is around, and we can actually meet up and link up. So I think we need to dispel it. I think we'll do a Mythbusters version of the Shane and Davin show. So when you will come over here, we will do a bunch of vlogging and we'll film.
Sure.
We will line up a recently retired NFL linebacker who is still in shape, and we will put pads on you and a helmet. And we will allow that person to get about a 12-yard run as fast as he can.
I get pads and a helmet as well. I get pads and a helmet.
Yeah, no, you get pads and a helmet. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. You think that they actually keep you from getting hurt.
No, they don't, but they certainly keep you from getting as hurt. There's no doubt about that.
I would disagree.
Are you kidding me? So why do they wear?
The level of safety that exists
I understand.
is erased by the fact that the other guy who also has those things feels like that it makes him invincible.
No.
So therefore he is going to try and kill you.
No, the problem with the helmet.
I've never seen anyone try to kill somebody.
Oh, why don't you just Google it? Oh, you've watched.
No.
When I watch AFL hits, I don't.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
No.
When I watch AFL hits, I wonder, did that guy survive? I watch NFL hits, I go, pads and helmet. He's good.
Oh, see, that's the thing.
He's good. The reason why NFL is dangerous, other than the points you raise, is because the helmets, and you raised this last week, they give you a false sense of security to the point where you go head first. You think you're protected, so you go head first.
A human that weighs 270 pounds.
If they would just avoid head contact, even with the helmet, the sport would be a lot safer.
That is literally launching his body like a missile. And it is the equivalent. An NFL running back suffers every time he gets tackled, it is the medical equivalent of a car accident.
In the AFL, a player that runs backwards to take a mark is running into a pack of multiple human beings. It's not just one.
Yes,
they're running into a pack of 4 or 5. No, it's far more dangerous.
It's not. So here's my next point. Here's my next point. Why have we never seen the best and toughest? Because, see, I can say this. I'm a big guy. I'm like, you can't make this statement if it was the roles reversed. You're a little guy. Some of these guys tap on your door and be like, hey, I heard you said something about we weren't tough. I can do that. I can get away with this, right? So
I'm not that small.
Well, no, but you're not me either.
I'm reasonably heavy.
But you put me next to you and you look like my child. So
well, that's a big kid.
So my thing is, why don't we see you guys as best, you're toughest, you're fastest? Why don't we see you guys coming over here to make real money?
Well, I believe that there are multiple examples of AFL players that have come over there and taught you guys how to kick a ball. There's
now
there's
we're talking
Ben
about
Graham,
kicking a ball.
Severio Roca. Because we
why not running back?
Because we would rather stay here and play a game that's interesting.
So $30 million a year in American money that doesn't do anything to you.
Well, I mean, you obviously have to have a certain level of physical attribute, right? You got to be juiced up to the eyeballs. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that, why would you come here for an AFL player, when you have a sizable enough country that has grown up playing that game, it's
Europe brings them over here all the time.
Why don't we have any guys playing in the NHL? For the same reason, we don't play.
The Kiwis have
we don't play hockey here. Yeah, one.
A couple.
Man, we play, but
they're the size of one state over here.
We play a lot of basketball over here. We don't have that many guys in the NBA.
You're proving my point.
No, it's not.
Listen,
it's a different. It's like you're making it seem like it's a choice, right? We grow up playing our game. We want to play our game.
No, it's not a choice. You're proving my point.
In the AFL, the AFL as a sport,
meaning it's because it's not the same.
Yeah, darts and the NFL are not the same. Like we're as a sport, it's not advantageous to be 6'6" and 280 pounds. That doesn't help you in our game. So why would anyone who plays our game, why would you think that they would be physically capable of playing NFL when that's not what the game? You need to look to rugby. Rugby is a more similar game, right? It's a more similarly pointless game where two groups of guys just run at each other.
So why? Okay.
Why aren't there any soccer players playing NFL?
Mason Cox.
Yeah.
Why isn't he over here playing?
Well, because
his body would not survive an entire season.
No, absolutely not.
That's my point.
Yeah, but how many MMA players would survive in the NFL? But the MMA is tough.
We're not
right. The MMA. I'm talking about danger. I'm talking about danger as a sport. You're talking about physical attributes. You're not talking about a sport that is inherently more dangerous than another. There isn't an NFL player that would be able to get
the AFL
that would get
is
a
more
game
dangerous than the NFL.
I'm saying that the hits when they happen.
Are you on record?
When they happen, are more severe than the NFL for two reasons. One, there's no protection, and two, you don't know where they're coming from and how hard they're going to be. And you're in vulnerable situations. I know that you have equivalent hits in the NFL. I know that there are circumstances where a player is running to receive a pass and gets absolutely poleaxed. I get that, right? But when it happens over there, they bounce back up. Not because they're tougher,
that's
because they have helmets and pads.
Okay.
Helmets and pads.
So what if they're tougher?
What do you mean?
What if the reason they bounce back up is because they're tougher?
Well, take away the pads and helmet, and then let's see.
But
take away the variable.
The equivalent, though.
Take away the one thing that separates.
I'll jump up in the. What do y'all call that in the air? Is that a scrum? That's not a scrum. What's that called? What's that called when you jump? Everybody jumps up in the air to get the ball in AFL.
What do you mean? Like going for a mark?
Contesting. Okay, so what I'll do when I come over there, we'll even see if Richmond will let us do it. They practice. They practice outside. I've watched their practice before.
This is what we need to do. If you want to test it, here's what we need to do. I get you to run away from me as fast as you can. I will kick the ball towards you, and I'll have on the other side of you 5 guys running straight at you. Yeah.
I'm down.
Cool.
I'm down.
All right. Done.
Izzy, you are watching this. Izzy, please comment and let this. Izzy is a huge NFL fan. Oh, as a matter of fact, Izzy, are you working right now? Are you working? I'm gonna find out.
Get him on. Get him to jump on.
I just sent him a link. He is he is probably one of the most well-versed NFL fans I've ever met in Australia. He religiously.
He's commented.
Yeah, I don't know what he posted.
He just said he's just tuned in. He's just tuned in.
Richmond Tigers. Oh, he just. Richmond Tigers. Oh, I already played it. He missed it.
He missed it. We're not doing that again, Izzy. Come on, man.
Yeah. I'll do it if you come on, Izzy.
What did he say? He's working.
He's got a session starting.
Oh, okay.
What time? I just need a few minutes, Izzy. I just need you to settle a debate. Ah, that works.
What do you say? He's going to jump on for a few minutes?
Yeah. The debate gets settled tonight.
Is he the judge, is he?
What's the debate? He doesn't even know what he's coming on for. That's even better. That's even better. That's even better. Come on. Big money, big money, big money. I hope, look, here's what I hope. Like, I'm glad we don't have a whole lot of structure to this podcast because I want people to feel like they're just sitting and hanging out and having a conversation and
That's the thing. That's the idea.
the banter with us.
And if we can get people to jump in and join us, I think that would be fun.
Yes, yes. We need to
So-
see.
so is he gonna jump in?
Australia. He
Is he
says
gonna
he's
jump in?
going to.
Okay, cool.
It may take him a few minutes.
Yeah, all right.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Thanks.
Ah,
Hey,
There he is.
Izzy.
what's cracking?
How are you, man?
Okay. Okay. For those have never who can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
All right, do I sound sexy?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm not
so-
sure. I'm not sure you're the right person to pitch.
No, he
this
is.
argument to
Listen,
Izzy.
no, he is. Okay. Listen, we have a debate. Okay. And I know you got a session, so we'll get right to the point. Davin seems to think that the AFL is more aggressive, more dangerous, and more painful than the NFL hits and tackles.
Jeez. What are we taking the metric on? Because look, if we just look at Lamar Jackson's run yesterday, and he hit 31, I think it's 31 or 32 miles per hour on where he just rushed his rushing TD, miles per hour. And the quickest dude in the Richmond game was Noel Bolter at 33 kilometers an hour. So they move at like double the pace of an Aussie, of AFL players.
They're also double the size.
So from an athletic point, like AFL players aren't even close, like athletes wise. So, but you do have your pads and stuff on, but then also that takes away it's like rock climbing with ropes and not with ropes. You know, when they've got ropes, they're like, we take bigger risks because we feel like, we're safe. Whereas you don't have ropes, you're like, well, I kind of have to pull back a little bit. Otherwise,
So you extensively have watched. Would you say it's probably close that you watched more NFL footage than maybe any Australian alive?
Oh, that's a big call, but I don't think I'm nowhere near that. But
I would say that. I'm giving you that title.
I know about it.
So, Davin, ask him what you want to ask. Oh, hold on. Davin, your audio's not working. It's not on our end. It's on your end.
How's that?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, sorry. So my only point was the biggest hits in the AFL are more serious than the big hits in the NFL for a couple of reasons. One, there's no pads and helmets, as Izzy alluded to. Number two, they are hits where you're not expecting it. You don't know where the hits are coming from. You're usually in a really vulnerable situation, either head over the ball or running backwards into a pack of players, not one player, but a pack of players. So what I'm saying is NFL has far more hits. There's no question about that. It is the name of the game. But when the big hits happen in the AFL, they are more dangerous to the physical being of the person than they are in the NFL. No pads, no helmet. The NFL players jump up. They spring up. They spring up.
Okay, Mr. Trump, it's his turn to talk.
I just go the big hits these days in the AFL are weeks on the sideline now. Like, you get in trouble for big hits now. And I think it's the same in the NFL. Like, if you poleaxe someone, suddenly, if we're going back, we probably need to go back a few eras where there's less regulations on.
We're talking about, we'll go back to Ronnie Lott era, a guy where he broke his finger and bent over, went to the locker room and had to cut it off, taped it up, and then went back out and played.
But what about
Yeah.
okay? So obviously I'm Collingwood biased because they're the only games I watch. That's not true. That's not true. But only a few weeks
Kick him
ago,
off the
only a
damn
few
stringer.
weeks ago, we had a player, Brody Mychek, get absolutely knocked out. I think it was against the Swans, running into a pack, getting absolutely cleaned up.
Imagine getting beat up by a swan.
You don't and no helmet, no pads. Like, I mean, he looked like he was dead. He looked like he was dead. It still happens. It still happens.
I think the thing with the AFL that like you don't know where the hit's coming from because we can come at you from all the angles. Where the NFL, you're like, well, I have some idea of at least where the guy's coming from. Like,
yeah, correct.
In front of me.
And the other thing is, you get knees. You get knees to the head in the AFL. You get knees to the ribs. You don't get knees. You're
right. You just get a 200. A guy runs a 4.40, 280 pounds. A missile launched at you.
I think you got to look at this from two different angles. The NFL has bigger hits purely from an athletic point on a physics point. Like they just move quicker.
Yeah.
They're bigger bodies.
No argument.
Etc.
No argument for me.
The AFL is a bigger hit in like you just don't know where it's coming from half the time. But
okay.
And the lack of protective equipment. I think we might have lost Izzy.
I don't know.
There we go.
Gotcha. Okay. I have a question. Let me put. Can you hear me? Is there a delay on your end, Izzy? Maybe.
No, I can hear.
Okay. All right. If I said you have to do one of these two, you have to go up, run back 5 yards behind you, and go for a mark, or you had to run a route across the middle, full pads on, against an NFL defense, and one of their linebackers or safeties come through and hit you.
Yeah, but
which of the two? You had to do one. You had to do one.
Get a hit from a pack. Like, no, anyone can take a mark. You have to describe the type of hit that Izzy's going to get in
whatever
the AFL.
Would be equipped.
And he knows
the worst thing.
The worst thing in the AFL.
Which one would you rather do, Izzy?
Well, I'm either getting my who is the guy for the Kangaroos who or is it Melbourne who fucking something erupted in him. He got a knee in the back and like his internal organ blew up. Do you remember the guy I'm talking about?
I can't remember. How long ago are we talking?
Well, I was 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember.
He got a knee in the back. But then also you've got the video of. Do you remember when Kimbo Slice was paying dudes $100 to let him poleaxe them on a catch?
Yeah.
So my spine's gonna be put out of place either. Look, I'm sitting on the fence here, but
see, all right.
I don't know how to brace it all for a hit in the NFL. So
yeah,
the NFL has to be a worse hit for me purely because I don't know how to brace. But
you don't. You're running. You catch the ball and the guy's hitting. You don't get to brace. You catch the ball and you're running.
But I've played AFL, so I've got some idea of. You're like, look, if you know.
Okay.
I think it's just that in the NFL, I'm like, I don't know.
So you're scared. So it's a bit intimidating to you.
Oh man, are you serious? I'm the catch. Someone throws you a hospital pass in the middle of the defense, and you just say, "Let the linebacker Hey, just let Ray Lewis run at you."
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
you have a lacerated liver, spleen. These things happen.
Yeah, I'm terrified of that. I'm gonna have to say, actually, no, I'm thinking about this now. I'm gonna have to say the NFL right now because we just don't have hard men in the AFL anymore, purely due to the rules.
They've cleaned it up.
They softened up the NFL too, though.
Yeah, because they don't want so many legal cases. Look, I will say that there are far more. What is it? CET. There are far more cases of CTE in the NFL than there is in the AFL. But we have them. But again, that's like a boxing versus MMA thing where because you've got the helmet, you take more hits and you're happy to take more hits. You get hit once in the AFL, you're out for 2 weeks. Concussion, game over, So Not that used to happen. It was just get back out there.
Yeah. When Plugger just
Like, did you see
bulldozed
Dak
you.
Prescott's ankle?
Yeah. I know. Imagine getting cleaned up
his
by
foot-
Plugger like that. Oh
His foot
man.
is not supposed to bend that way.
Yeah. When Plugger used to hit people, it was like, okay, you got hit by a car. That's what happened.
Alex Smith, do you know how hard you have to get hit to break your femur?
Yeah, I got one for you though, Shane. There was a guy, Byron Pickett, who literally got ruled. He's the changes in the game literally ruled him out of being able to play. He was like a bona fide hard man.
He was brutal.
They changed the rules, so he kind of went from like a rougher era into almost like a nowish era, and he literally had to retire because he just couldn't adjust to the rules because he would just poleaxe, and he
Just line people up.
He would
and
spend
take
more
them out.
time suspended than playing because he was like, I can't change my game style.
Well, just so you're aware, when COVID lifts, Davin's going to come and spend a couple weeks over here, and we're going to travel around, and we're going to vlog and shoot a whole bunch of content. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to line him up with a recently retired NFL player, full pads, and he's going to take one.
Yeah, we're gonna make, and you're gonna run face first into a pack. That's what you're.
Yeah, I'm fine. But see, I'm a big guy though. I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay with that. I'm not
holiday over.
I've watched AFL. I've watched those guys practice I've watched Richmond. I've sat right there on their practice field across the street from their stadium. I've sat right there and watched them practice.
Can't base it on practice. Come on.
Who
are you?
But there's
Allen
nothing
Iverson?
that I've ever watched and I've thought, oh God. I've watched the NFL. You can flip. There's a game going on right now. There is somebody that their career may end tonight.
This is what I'm saying. The hits don't happen anywhere near as frequently in the AFL. But when they happen seriously, I would much rather. Well, look, I'd rather neither hit, but I think that they're more dangerous. They're more dangerous.
Mason Cox, is he?
Yeah.
Could his body would not survive in the NFL?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If he's not built for it.
Yeah, he's not built for it.
Yeah, but you put him in the gym for 3 years, juice him up. Away you go.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
so
the NFL. No one's arguing that the NFL doesn't have better athletes. Like,
no.
Did you see when Cam Newton came down and trained with Richmond? He's like 6'9", and like our tallest player's like 6'6".
Yeah, but our athletes.
Okay.
Our athletes cover 15 Ks in a game. Like the athlete required to play AFL. You have one or two.
Because you run around in short shorts.
No. You've got to cover 15 Ks. You've got to sprint. You've got to be able to tackle. You've got to take hits. So it's all encompassing. It's endurance. It's speed. It's power. NFL, you're built for one thing. You're built for one thing. You can't do anything else.
Not true.
Can't do. You cannot do anything else. Name another sport that the 6'9", 280-pound NFL player could play other than the WWE.
Do you know how many big time college basketball players? So I'll tell you one. This will blow your mind.
Julius Peppers.
The left tackle, or maybe the right tackle for the New York Jets. His name is George Fant. He's 6'6", about 290 right now, maybe 300. George Fant.
Yep.
He is from my hometown.
Okay.
He plays offensive line. Signed a big-time contract, starting offensive lineman. A mammoth of a human.
Yep.
He was 6'6", 235 and played college basketball. Didn't play a down of football in college or in high school.
What division?
Division I at Western Kentucky University. Played in the NCAA tournament, I believe.
He couldn't get a game now.
But do you see what he doesn't have to because he's holding the weight that he needs to hold.
Okay, so what was he?
You guys
just a
don't
shot
have
blocker
guys that can do that.
We have. What do you mean? We have a guy. I'm
going to flip it on you, Izzy. Would you rather jump up in a pack, or would you rather stand in an open field as a safety and Bo Jackson running full speed at you?
We've done this. We just asked him the same question.
He's on offense. No, you got to tackle him. You got to tackle him. Would you like to tackle Bo Jackson coming at you?
The pack that you described. Go ahead.
Yeah. The descriptions are pretty biased here. You're like, hey, Shane Tackle, literally one of the greatest athletes ever to play any sport ever. And then you're like, just go to the local park and kick a footy with someone.
Would you as a defender, a Richmond defender, like to run backwards into a pack that has a streaming Dangerfield, Hawkins, or like 4 big Geelong guys in a pack running straight at you, and you jump blind straight into that pack? You don't.
Ain't nobody care anything about.
We're talking 6'4" guys, like, and you could take a knee, you could take an elbow, you could get a shoulder, like straight into the temple. No helmet, no pads. You don't know what's going to hit you. You don't know what's going to hit you. It's. I'm not saying that that the impact is going to be worse. I'm saying that like the unknown and the lack of protection makes potentially the damage.
Melbourne wannabes.
Sorry to bring up Geelong. That is a good call.
See, hey, that's how you know I know where I'm talking about. When I call Geelong Melbourne wannabes.
Well, they can't be grand final.
Hey, so I know you got to go here in a minute. I want to ask you real quick, Izzy. If he's speaking so highly of AFL players, then why don't you guys? I'm not talking about your punters. Why don't the best athletes then come over here and play in the NFL and make real money?
Because it's a different type of athlete.
What? Well, what? Look, that's like saying why don't middle distance runners? They're really good at running. Why don't they come over and do the 100-meter sprint? And you're like,
correct.
They're built 2 different ways.
Correct.
You guys have to play for like 30 seconds max, and there's 9 minutes between each down.
You're not even expected to play offense and defense in your sport.
And AFL players are middle distance runners. You ask anybody who watches the AFL, none of them are big anymore. We don't have big intimidating bodies now because they just have to run.
They're coming over here and trying to get our tallest players, our tallest basketball players, to come over there and play for y'all. That's what they're
not one NFL player would be able to come and play AFL. We have AFL guys that have made it in the NFL.
Because here's the reality of it.
Because we had a kick.
This will be the settlement of the argument.
We had a kick because in our brand of football, you actually kick.
Yeah, you hurry up and kick it before somebody knocks the shit out of you. Yeah, that's what you get to do. You don't have to get to take it. You don't get to take it on the chin. So here's the reality of it. This is the equivalent. AFL, again, I'm not saying they're not top-level athletes. I'm not saying it's not great. I mean, hey, let's be honest. You see it right back here behind me. You see it right there. You see it right there. You see Richmond right there. Look, I know what quality is. I know what top of the line athletes are. This will be 3 and 4 years. I know what this is. But AFL is like taking a fight with Floyd Mayweather. The NFL is like taking a fight with Mike Tyson.
With pads on.
Not with pads, with gloves.
Gloves and headgear.
All right, Izzy. I appreciate you popping on and settling this argument once and for all. NFL
feel like nothing
overrules.
got settled, but that's
It
all
did.
right.
It did. This is America. Sometimes we just take our own. We just say it, and that's what it is. Take it. All right, brother. I love you.
Thanks, Izzy. See you, man.
Love you both, man.
See you. So he was your guy. He was your pick.
Yeah.
Izzy was gonna win this argument for you.
You got somebody?
Well, I don't need somebody because Izzy just backed up my point. I mean, you wanted him to come in and settle it, and what happened? Your pick didn't settle it at all. That's what I'm saying.
No, he's on the
fence because he knows. He knows
he's Australian.
If you take away the pads and the helmet,
he didn't want to
100%. I do not want to take a hit from anybody in the NFL. I don't want to take a hit from anyone in the NFL anyway. What I'm saying is there are other factors that make it not as clear cut. Anyway, I'll give you that. I'll give you that much.
Oh. What is going on here? My Facebook is all jacked up. I literally can't search for anybody. I have no search bar.
No?
No. So what else you want to talk about? Now that I won that argument.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Did we get any comments on that? Has anybody chimed in?
I don't think so. A lot of people saw it. The problem is a lot of that we need to that topic, most Americans are not going to have any idea.
No, a lot of Australians will.
Oh, well, yeah, they will. But
Hmm.
and they're going to hear. Trying to see if I have any. I've never looked and seen if I have any friends that.
I'm your friend, man.
Well, yes. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see, like, who do I have that I'm friends with? Man, something I don't know what's going on, man. This is so we can talk a little politics.
Let's do that.
So the shit show we've got going on here.
I love it, man. It's the greatest show on earth.
It's almost over.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the current president, is it not?
Yeah. So
how do you
I'm
do
going
you
to
think
make
it's
a prediction.
okay? Good. Let's hear it.
I am going to go on record and say that Donald Trump will lose, and he will flip all of this and turn around and act as if he has exploited and exposed Republicans and the Republican Party, and he will come out, and that will be his big ta-da.
You think he's going to turn on the Republican Party? And
He was
on his
never
way
a
out?
Republican to begin with.
No, but he embraced a lot of their conservative values.
But I think he's going to say he doesn't embrace shit. That was the only way he could get on the ticket when he ran.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
He doesn't have to embrace anything.
I think that
No one actually believes that he actually believes the stuff that he says.
No,
There's no humanly possible way.
no.
So I think that's what's going to happen. I think
Wow, that would be massive.
That's what he's going to say. I don't think it's going to be true, but I think it's what he's going to say. I think it's what his PR team will put together.
It would be difficult to be a Republican and have had to back him in a lot of instances.
If you publicly have not changed, you 100% have sold your soul.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Being as balanced as I can be, but because they clearly have, like, a number of them have, and they've had to, like, I mean, for political survival perhaps, but man, when this is all said and done, yeah, well,
See,
because
we're political survival over doing the right thing.
yeah, I know. I think it just shows you, right, what decisions people what they make when their back's against the wall. Often they make the wrong ones, but you could make the case that, all right, a lot of them have just gritted their teeth and have gotten through it, and they probably feel like the party's better for having had them stay in it.
I guarantee you that is not the consensus.
I reckon that's the justification. I don't know if it's the consensus, but
I'm actually looking
do you think it's going to tighten as we get closer to November 3?
I mean, I think it might. But so right now, as of right now, 30 million early votes that have happened. That's not just mail-in votes, because we can actually go in and vote in person early. 13 million states with party registration data. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's 13 million. Okay. Which means the other 17 million have states that don't have party registration data. They don't,
right.
Like, that's just for whatever reason they don't report. Of those 13.3, 7 million of them are Democrats. 3 million of them are Republicans. Now, that doesn't mean Democrats voted Democrat, and that doesn't mean Republicans voted Republican.
No.
And then 2.7 are independent. So 53.8% are Democrats.
This is why you guys need preferential voting, because those independent votes need to go somewhere. after they're counted. This is the benefit of preferential voting.
Well, that's the whole reason for the electoral college.
The electoral but the electoral college is not balanced either.
Oh,
Because you get each state, you get all of the electoral votes from that state, irrespective of the swing and the spread. Like you could win a state by one vote and you get that entire state's votes. Whereas, why wouldn't you get just the percentage that you won? So if you won by a percentage of 60-40, you should get 60% of the votes and the other person should get 40. Because if you don't win by a landslide, you don't have that entire state's support, right?
Yeah, but you got to remember. So ours is a lot of it is based off of like population demographic.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that a smaller state gets more power to balance it up.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying
when
is,
you have a state like New York, where New York City can vote one, and it has the population of 10% of your country. Like, that's the difference, though.
But that's the thing. You could
they don't
win.
Speak for Middle America, though.
Correct, but if Middle America is on a knife's edge, then 50% of Middle America votes Democrat and 50% votes Republican. And then so this is what I'm saying. Like if you have the support of 55% of Middle America, and you have the support of 80% if you have the support of 45% of Middle America and 70% of the coastal areas, you should be the president because you have the most support on the whole. But that's not what happened in 2016, right? Like Hillary didn't get smashed in the swing states, but she just lost enough of them, and all of those votes went to Trump. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a gamed, manipulated process now.
Yeah. And I don't think you necessarily end up with the president that is representative of the whole country.
Well,
because
you're not going to get that either way, no matter how you do it.
Yeah, but I think you're going to get closer if they just get the votes that they earned across the country.
We will get that this election.
Yeah. Well, we can only hope, right?
So
anyway.
Are your kids back in school?
Yes. Praise the Lord. One is, well, I've only got one school-age kid. The other one's in childcare a couple of days a week. But the other thing is that grandparents are now also able to help out with the childcare as well. So, yeah, game changer.
So what you're saying is there's going to be some spend the night parties coming up here soon.
Spend the what?
We call them spend the night parties.
What's a spend the night party?
My kids go spend the night and have a party over it.
Spend the night. I think it's spin the night.
Well, spend the night. Spend Americans.
Slumber parties.
Sleepover.
Yeah, we haven't had any of those yet. My kid's too young. There's been no sleepovers. She's 6.
Over at your parents?
Oh, yeah, with the parents. I thought you meant like with other kids.
Now you can go send them over.
And they can stay. Yeah.
You've been stuck with them for 6 months. Tell
Correct.
them they can start. Hey, they can take a couple weeks.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that to them. But one night, we'd settle for one night. That'd be great.
You got to have 48 hours.
The last time we left my children with my wife's parents, like my children have not been that sick as kids, but the one night we left them, both my kids just threw up everywhere. It's just like of all the nights. So
I'm a firm believer that because you got to have 48 hours. If it's not very regular. And the reason is because the first night, I mean, let's be honest. You're going to order some easy meal and you're both going to be asleep by 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're just going to go to bed, right?
Yeah, true.
Somebody's going to fall asleep on the couch. There's
that's not gonna work.
There's no hangout time.
That's not going to work. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta have 48 hours. And you need one night to get rested.
One night.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta You got desensitize yourself from the
That's true.
animals roaming
That's
the
right.
house.
Yeah, because you got that like that nervous twitch to kind of what was that noise? Are they here? You gotta let go. You gotta be
Yeah.
able to get comfortable with
You gotta
the
be
silence.
free. You gotta be free. You gotta be free. Any crazy? What kind of? I mean, I don't not non-COVID stuff. What are non-AFL stuff? What other kind of news is going on in Australia?
Geez, there's not a lot unrelated to AFL and COVID. Look, there are some political things happening here. There's some state elections going on. New Zealand just had their election.
That was big.
What else? That was big.
So,
what else is going on? Let me see.
So do y'all have these over in? I can't remember if I've ever seen these. It's a peppermint, right? So, but it's like it's hard, but it's soft. Like when you bite into it, it's hard and it crumbles, but when it gets wet, like it turns
chewy,
soft.
I don't
Not
know.
chewy; it just dissolves.
Okay, so we've probably got something like that.
So that makes me think.
Yeah.
Why is cinnamon candy not a thing in Australia?
Yeah, I completely agree. This is the one thing I love about going to America is the amount of cinnamon over there. Cinnamon coffee.
It's not a thing.
I don't know. I love cinnamon.
This time of year, everything is cinnamon.
Big red chewing gum. Yeah, I'm all over it. Love it.
Red Hots, little red hot candies, hot tamales. Why is this not a thing in Australia?
Well, we just don't it just doesn't do as well. It's sort of had a crack.
I mean, I've seen it in the American stores. I see American candy, but
yeah, Big Red had a moment here for a while.
The gum.
It didn't. Yeah, the gum. Yeah, but it didn't really catch on.
But I don't see a lot of chewing gum in Australia either, though.
Oh yeah, no, we've got tons of it. Every service
I'm
station.
always looking for the Willy Wonka sherbet fizz.
Yeah, no. Yeah, any grocery store, supermarket, any supermarket.
You're right.
Any service station, the counter's full of it.
You're right.
Full of it.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm totally out of my mind. But I've never.
I feel like
why
with your candy, I find there seems to be in America less like ownership of everything. Like I feel like over here, there's one or two people, they make everything. Whereas in America, you walk into like a service station or it just feels like there's more people, there's more players in the game. There's more I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but it just feels like there's a bigger.
It's either Cadbury or Starburst, but even Starburst is probably owned by.
Yeah, it just feels. I don't know. I just feel everything's more kind of uniform.
You have a bigger selection.
No, I feel like you guys have. I don't know. The selections are maybe comparable, but I feel like ours are more one-dimensional.
We have different brands. You're saying
you have different. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, it's
kind of like Mars.
It's kind of like energy drinks over here. There's like 72 different companies now that make energy.
Yeah,
drinks.
that's what I mean. Whereas here, there's you walk into any server, it's like 3 options.
Yeah.
And the one's owned by Coke, one's owned by Pepsi, and that's pretty much it.
I don't know. The whole cinnamon candy thing, I've not. I've never understood that. I wonder why.
It's just one of those things. Like I think there's other things that you guys just consume a lot of that we don't. Like I said, I brought up bagels, pretzels. You guys do a lot of pretzels.
Man, I tell you what, I had one
like
time.
the big ones. Talk about like the big ones.
Yeah, my wife loves those things.
Yeah, it just there was a chain here that tried. Man, the California pretzel, I used to love it. With the cinnamon, right? The cinnamon, sugar,
sugar pretzel.
Yeah, man.
You don't have cinnamon toast? You don't like cinnamon toast? Man, you take some bread, all right? Take some bread, white bread.
Mm-hmm.
Put some butter on it. Sprinkle it with white sugar.
Mm-hmm.
A good, not like heaping amount, but you want to cover the butter.
Mm-hmm.
Sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on there. Turn the oven on broil. Slide it on a sheet pan underneath there just to when it starts to brown around the edges, not dark brown, light brown. Pull it out. It'll be the greatest thing you've ever tasted in your life.
Yeah, I reckon I've had cinnamon like that. We have cinnamon scrolls. but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah,
We have
cinnamon rolls.
do you have cinnamon sugar?
Yeah, cinnamon sugar. Yeah, I mean, it's just mixed.
That's
yeah,
it.
They make it.
It's
You
mixed.
just-
Yeah, we have it here. We have it here.
yeah, same thing. I mean, you can do it. We have cinnamon toast crunch cereal.
Cinnamon toast
Oh.
crunch cereal.
Yeah, we have. Man, we like. I tell you what else I do. I make breakfast rice. So you take white rice,
Mm-hmm.
and you make it like regular.
Mm-hmm.
You put butter in the rice,
Mhm.
white sugar, and cinnamon. Mix it all up and put just a little splash or two of milk. Kind of mix it all up.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
my
I'm going to
God.
try that. I will try that. That
Oh.
sounds good.
It will add. See now, we'll track your progression of weight
Next
gain
week. Yeah.
from the moment you
I
start watching.
don't need any help, man. I don't need any help.
That's a big one. Breakfast rice. I think I'm actually out of rice, or I might have just talked it into existence to go make some.
The other thing that you guys do that we had a moment, but we stopped is all you can eat stuff. You guys have far more all you can eat options over there than we do here.
Well, yeah, most of them you don't want to eat at though.
No, but a lot of them, like I when I was over in Vegas for the Olympia,
Vegas is different. Vegas,
man, we had all you can eat Japanese, and I went there with he was the ninth. He placed ninth at the Mr. Olympia, the ninth biggest bodybuilder on the planet.
he probably eats 30,000 calories a day.
I just remember like the three owners of the place were just standing in the doorway watching him. They're like, "This guy's going to end us. Like he's going to end us," and it was amazing food.
Have you ever eaten at a Brazilian steakhouse in America?
No, not in America.
So you get this.
I have here, like there's one here where you
little
get the
thing you turn up and down.
yeah,
and the meat
green
comes
and red.
around. Yeah.
At one of those, do they come out with the cinnamon pineapple? There's a one here that does this. It comes out with like it's carved, and they break pieces off for you. Man, it's like cooked pineapple with cinnamon. Oh,
I've never heard. I've never heard.
that was a
of
game changer. That was a game changer.
The other thing is so in Vegas it's a little bit different, right? Vegas, They do that. If you go to Vegas, actually, next time you go to Vegas, I need to be in Vegas. So, at Little Caesars, they have the Bacchanal buffet. It's about $50 a person, but they have everything from duck to escargot,
Right.
to French pastries, to literally anything you can imagine. It's big time. It's big time. $26 million buffet. That's what they cost to build it out. It easily is the best buffet in Vegas. Caesar's Palace, the Bacchanal buffet.
I'm gonna write that down.
It is that, and then there's a place if you want really good breakfast. There's a place called Hash House a Go Go, and I told you about that place.
Yeah,
and I don't think you ever went. You didn't listen to me. That's
no.
It's like, hey, what's crazy is as much as you like cinnamon, you'd have loved it. They have a giant banana pancake that's about this big around. Literally, it wouldn't fit on two plates. If you like, it's hanging off like the plates. It's like this cinnamon banana mixture in with the pancake, and oh man, you missed out. You missed out.
There was a reason for that because
No, that's all right. You just screw Shane. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. As a matter of fact,
Look.
at that stage in our relationship, you were probably like, I'm never going to see this bloke again.
Yeah, that's not true.
I'm not going to listen to him.
That's not true.
I'm not going to listen to him at all.
I didn't have a lot of free time to go exploring on that trip. I was pretty under the pump. But I did go to downtown, and
Never been.
oh, it's so much better. I mean, it depends what you're looking for, but I just loved that there was so much more history of that place than the Strip. I mean, the Strip isn't even in Vegas.
No, it's not. I
It's
want
in
to
paradise.
go. You know what we need to go? We need to go to Vegas. We need to go to Colorado.
I'd love to go to Colorado.
We need to go to Portland.
Yeah, I hear Portland's amazing.
Yeah, Portland's big time.
Beautiful, right?
We need to hit all the adult coffee shops.
I was going to say, where are you going with this,
Yeah,
man?
no, I'm not. I've never been to Colorado.
Yeah.
I've been to Vegas, and I have not, and I've been to Portland.
Portland's
yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. I'd love to go to Colorado. I've been to Texas.
I tell you, we need to road trip it. We need to get an RV. We'll get a legit RV.
I'd like to go to Yellowstone. Yellowstone would be amazing.
Well, I'm telling you, we will set aside. We'll get somebody to sponsor the RV. It won't be that much. It'll be cheaper than a car and a hotel every night. Because you can get a like a I'm talking about like a tour bus with like a living room and the whole bit for like $250 a night.
Yeah.
And we'll just drive around. We'll shoot. You can bring cameras. We'll set some GoPros up around the thing.
Yeah.
And we'll just shoot.
I'll tell you what we should do, and I'll get you involved in this, is the golf show should come over to the States and do the big golf tour.
Let's go.
You can host us.
Let's roll. Let's roll.
That'd be massive.
We'll bring an NFL player that plays golf, and in the side of, I actually have an idea for this.
Do you?
Yeah. So Pat McAfee is big into golf.
I know. Oh, is he? Is he?
He loves. Yeah. Him and AJ Hawk, who does part of one of his shows. He's in linebacker used to be for the Packers.
Yeah,
he's big into golf. I think it's a great idea to pitch him.
Yeah, man.
They and Aussies will love them.
And he can lay me out at the end of the trip. He can just run straight into me.
He actually mentioned that he does that at a golf event every year. He does it.
Just his people.
Broke the guy's collarbone, and like that's the thing. Like it's a great way for you to get an extended trip. Do it on your last day.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, as long as I can do my healthcare in Canada.
Yeah, we'll have him fly to Canada and hit you.
Because I don't want that bill at the end of my hospital stay over there.
Nah, they'll never find you. Just go back. Just don't ever come back. They'll never find you. Anything else?
I think we're good, man. It's good to get Izzy on. I think we should try and do that every week. We should get some people in, join the debate. That was fun.
Yeah, we checking out something here. People are actually watching this. I don't even know why. This is easily the dumbest show on the internet, and people are watching it. Do we sound dumb? My wife's not answering me. See, this is one of those things. Remember, like you said, just don't ask.
Can she hear me?
No, she can't hear you.
Yeah, so she knows how you sound, and she doesn't want to say.
Maybe she's been sitting over there listening to it.
Mate, that's true. That is true. That's possible. She's the one.
Yeah, but you sound Australian, so she's automatically going to side with you just because of how you sound.
I'm okay with that.
Maybe that's what we should do.
Who do you trust more, an Australian or an American?
No. You and your wife on, and me and my wife on. Oh boy, that you want to talk about? Hey, you want to talk about content?
I tell you what, that'll take some convincing to get my wife to come on. That'll take some convincing.
Convincing for you or convincing for her?
It's convincing for her.
Look, hey, we won't even tell her it's live.
She's not even gonna sit here.
Hey, but we'll just tell her it's just a video conference. We're gonna practice.
Right. Yeah. She's really good at asking questions.
Oh, that's okay. I am too.
You have to make me lie to her to get her on.
Oh, well, you lied to her before.
What do you mean? What do you mean? On the record, not a chance.
Oh my gosh, I can't breathe. Oh, I'm 100% certain my blood pressure just went through the roof. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the thing. It's like you're embarrassed way before I am.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask some, like, we're gonna get to the bottom of some things here real quick. Man, that would be rough. That would be rough. All right. Well, I think
All right,
I think we'll wrap it there.
Cool, man.
Next Wednesday. Yeah. Next Wednesday. I don't know. We'll figure out a date when we're going to do this.
Yeah.
This is the 5th one, by the way. So that means if we're going to keep doing it, then we have to give it more of a fair, honest effort.
Okay.
If we can get one of us to show up.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
I'm just,
It's not Monday, but
I'm just ribbing you.
Hey,
it is Monday. It's my Monday.
It is your Monday. It's we opened up, man. So we're able to work now, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing. Sweet. All right.
Good to see you,
that'll wrap
brother.
it up. And we'll see you guys next week.
Catch you next week.